Hello everybody, Paul here. Today this video is a request that was given to me by Geet Batra to do a top 5. He asked me to do a top 5 favorite razors, I think it was, and I just suggested that as long as I'm going to do a top 5 favorite razors, I'll just do a top 5 of everything. So top 5 favorite razors, top 5 favorite soaps, top 5 favorite brushes, and top 5 favorite aftershaves. So that being said, the paring down the favorites into a top 5 in each category was actually quite a bit harder than I thought. As far as my brushes, razors, soaps, I have a lot of each of them, and I have so many that I really like. It was difficult to pare down the numbers just to a top 5, but I did it anyways. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you that today. And I'm going to start out with my top 5 favorite soaps right now. And this is currently my top 5. You know, obviously, this changes from time to time. I've gotten some new soaps that I'm starting to use that I really like. I just haven't used them enough to put them in the top 5 at this point. But who knows? They may very well be there in the future. So starting out with the soaps, my number five is Perazzo Green. This is the Perazzo Green soap. It's a classic. It's fairly inexpensive. It's got a nice menthol kick and a really clean menthol eucalyptus scent. And I really love this. This is one of the first soaps I ever got, and I still have it. And this is actually probably about the second or third pot of it I've gone through. So that's number 5. Number 4 is a relatively new soap for me, but I just absolutely love the performance and scent of this soap. As many of you know, I am a kind of a rose aficionado, and this one is the Katie's Bubbles Rose du Marchand. Rose du Marchand. So there it is. This is just absolutely lovely soap, and for any rose lovers out there, this is certainly one you want to try and get your hands on. That's number 4. Number 3 is from a company that makes just absolutely outstanding soaps, and you could pretty much put any of their soaps that I have in this top 5. But this is the one I like the best right now, and this is the Razor Rock Captain's Choice. I love the smell of the Captain's Choice Bay Rum, and couple that with the awesome performance of Razor Rock soap, and you have a total winner right there. Number 2 is a kind of an artisanal soap from France, and this one was introduced to me by Todd Bryant of one of the Facebook shaving forums, and that soap is La Père Lucienne. This is just a lovely French-style soap. Just has a nice, wonderful herbal fragrance to it. Lather's great. Performance is awesome. And lastly, my number 1 favorite soap. Of course, I'm sure many of you can probably guess what it is. I'm not going to raise the whole tub because I have it soaking here, and I'm going to use it for my shave here in a minute. But is Martin de Condré, and this is the Fougère scented soap, and there it is. Just absolutely awesome soap. The smell, the fragrance of that soap is just outstanding. I love the herbaceous earthiness of this soap, and the performance is just unbelievably good. So moving on to my brushes. Number 5, coming in at number 5 is the Plisson Synthetic. Great brush. For $55, this brush is just really, in my opinion, an outstanding bargain. Performance is just stellar with this brush, and I'm just tickled pink about it. Number 4 is a custom brush made by Rod Neep. This is the Rod Neep Dreadnought design. This is one of his signature designs, and this is in the Fire Burl. So it's a combination of a fire, kind of an orange swirl fire resin with a burl wood mixed in, and this has his 26mm extra silver tip knot, which is just outstanding. This is a very soft knot with great backbone. This is just a great brush. Number 3 is a brush from Simpson, and this is the Simpson Duke 3 Best Badger, and this has the imitation coral handle. I have a lot of Simpson brushes, and any of them could have been in this top 5, but this is the one I seem to use the most. It's just got just the right amount of softness, backbone, and a good flow through. And it's just the right size for face lathering. Just really a great brush. It's a great all-around brush, the Duke 3. Number 2 is a brush from Thader. This is the Thader 49125/3. This is a 28mm silver tip knot from Thader. Thader is known for their bulb-shaped knots, and this baby does not disappoint. It's super soft, it's got great backbone, and this is just a face latherer's dream right here. And number 1 on the list is just an absolutely wonderful brush. This is a brush from Rooney. This is the Rooney Heritage 2XL Super Badger. This is a 2-band Super Badger brush, and just absolutely outstanding. This brush has tremendous backbone, very nice soft tips, but with just a tad bit of scrubbiness to them. And this thing just is a pleasure to use for face lathering. Just an absolutely awesome brush. So that's number 1. Moving on to the razors. Number 5, we have the Maestro Levy. This is my Maestro Levy Rose Damascus razor, and I just love this razor. It's one of his simpler designs, but it's beautiful and simple and functional and artistic all at the same time. It's got a little bit of a rustic appeal to it, and it just shaves like a dream. And this is probably my favorite straight razor that I have, and this is number 5. Number 4 is the Ever-Ready Streamline single edge razor. Great razor. This thing is very smooth, shaves wonderfully. It's got great heft, and just really is a solid, wonderful razor to use. Number 3 is the Weber DLC. This was my first Weber that I ever got. It shaves great, nice and smooth, easy to use, just the right amount of aggressiveness. I also have a Weber polished head on the wave handle. They both shave pretty much exactly the same, and I love both of them, and they're just great razors. And as far as a stainless steel razor goes, these are probably the best price of the bunch of the custom stainless steel razors, and it's well worth every penny. Next is the Cobra Classic. Another great razor. This uses the Feather Artist Club blades, and I find this to be one of the easiest razors to use. Just gives a very nice smooth shave. I love the weight of it. Some people do not care for the handle shape of this razor. It doesn't bother me at all. This razor is great. It's always ready to go. It's got the blade in there, and just, you know, whenever I need a shave in the morning, I don't want to think about what razor, what blade, I just grab this baby, and I know I'm in for a treat. And my number 1 favorite razor, I was looking for this razor for a long time. I finally found one, and that razor is the Gillette Red Tip Rocket. I absolutely love the American Red Tip, and this just, you know, takes that American Red Tip up a notch. Shaves just like the American Red Tip. It's got great weight, and I just love the opening mechanism on it. It's just so nice and smooth. Just a beautiful razor and a pleasure to use. So lastly, my top 5 aftershaves. So number 5 is an aftershave from Vito's called Vito's Colonia Ice. Vito's Colonia Ice is a nice, really super mentholated aftershave splash. It feels great, has a nice clean smell, and this in the Vito's line is the strongest amount of menthol, so for any menthol lovers, this one is a must try. And the price is pretty reasonable. I think it's about 12 bucks. Next is Crampert's Finest Frostbite. I also have their Finest Bay Rum. Both their aftershave splashes are great, but I absolutely love this one. This one to me smells like a combination of peppermint and pine, and it has a really nice menthol kick to it. The menthol in this one, unlike the Vito's, is not right in your face right off the bat. This one kind of, the coldness on this one kind of builds. And what's nice about this is that this aftershave also has kind of a moisturizing effect. So this can be used without a balm, and it just works great. Number 3 is a classic, and that's the Alt Innsbruck. Really great aftershave. This has a wonderful smell, kind of a tobacco spicy smell to it, with a really super nice menthol kick, and it's just an absolutely wonderful aftershave. This is actually my second bottle of this. My first bottle, I went through that pretty quick, and this one I'm not going through it as quick as I have some other aftershaves that I've been trying, and I haven't been using it as much, but I love it. Number 2 is probably one of my all-time favorites, the Captain's Choice Cat o' Nine Tails. Just a wonderful bay rum with a nice scent. The scent is has a good bay oil kick to it, and just really a nice spicy bay rum. And again, like the Cramperts, this has a nice moisturizing effect on the skin after it's applied. This one has a little bit more bracing effect than the regular one. It's not really a burn as much as it kind of, after you apply it, it kind of gives a warming sensation. So really nice aftershave. And number 1 is an aftershave that I've been using a lot lately. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know what this is going to be, but you know, since we're getting into the hotter months here in Arizona, I've been using my mentholated aftershaves more, and this one is a really nice alcohol-based menthol splash, and that is the Fine Snakebite. This is essentially an unscented aftershave splash with a ton of menthol. It feels absolutely great on the face, and what's nice about this is that because it's unscented, you can use whatever cologne you want. You don't have to worry about any conflict with the scent of your aftershave and the scent of your cologne if you tend to use both. So there you go. That's the top 5s in all product categories. So next I'm just going to do a shave with my top 5 favorites things, and so I'll be using the Martin de Condré Fougère soap. I'll be using the Rooney brush. I'm going to be using the Gillette Rocket or red tip Rocket. And I'll be using the Fine Aftershave. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to wet my face here. We'll start making some lather, and we'll get to work. I'm just going to shake the brush out real good, and we'll go ahead and start making some lather here. And just load the brush up here on my... And again, the Martin de Condré is really concentrated. I like to load it fairly heavily. It seems to work good for me that way with the harder water that I have. Plus, I just love the scent of it. And I'm going to go ahead and get going here. I'm just going to turn the water on just a trickle here so I can add some water to this. And I'm just going to rinse the soap off so I can set it down here. Okay. And this Rooney brush, really this is really a great brush for face lathering. It's got really nice backbone, just the right amount of scrub to it. It's pretty soft. This is not the gel tip Rooney brush, which I actually kind of prefer this one myself because I like to have a little bit of scrubbiness to it, just the slightest amount, and this provides that. So a little more water this side, and we'll go ahead and get going here in the interest of time. Okay, I'll just set that aside. The hands off. Alright, we'll get going here. And I have a Persona Med Prep blade loaded in here. I did not do my top 5 favorite blades, but suffice it to say that the Persona Med Prep is one of those, would be in my top 5 favorite blades, along with the Feather, the Kai, the Bolzano, and the Gillette 7 o'clock green. And of course the Bosch cod. I don't know, it might be 6, but those are the blades I tend to reach for the most. There we go. We'll do our second pass now. And this brush does have good flow through. Even though it's pretty dense, the flow through on the brush is still pretty good. It's not a real super lather hog, which is nice. Go ahead. I think today I'm just going to do 3 passes, try and save a little bit of time. I know this is because I did the top 5, so this is going to run a little bit long, but I'll go ahead and just try and just do a nice 3-pass shave and call it good. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do pass number 3. I find that for me the red tip provides just the right amount of aggressiveness and smoothness to get a really nice, close, comfortable shave. And I pretty much get about the same shave with the American red tip as I do with this one. I just like this one better. I like the opening mechanism. It just seems to be more, just built a little more solid, a little bit better build quality to it, which is really nice. Just takes a razor that I already love a lot and just kicks it up a notch, turns it up to 10. As far as quality, aggressiveness is the same though. Another vintage Gillette razor that I really liked it, I was debating about putting in this top 5, was the Gillette Aristocrat. That is another razor that I use really quite a bit. And and I find that to be on par with this razor as far as shave quality, aggressiveness, smoothness, and all that. So this and the Aristocrat are probably my two favorite vintage Gillette razors. They're just easy to use and they just give a really smooth, effortless shave. Okay. Alright, we're going to call that good. I'm going to wipe this off and we'll apply our aftershave, and that'll be that. Nice and smooth, comfortable, no irritation, and of course, number one, currently my favorite aftershave, the fine snake bite. And this does have a nice bracing effect and is really strong in the menthol department. So for guys that are menthol junkies, this is definitely one to try. It's got a really good menthol kick to it, and I'm going to actually do a double splash. It's so good. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I know this ran a little long. I appreciate you for sticking around and watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.